Sports, as Nnamdi joins us again today. Thank you for coming on this morning. Well, what a match it was, but was this the best of the Super Eagles' performance in the World Cup despite the loss?
Well, like I've been saying, Super Eagles seem to choose how they play depending on their opponents. And I'm sure the moment they saw that Messi, Di Maria, Higuain and Aguero were playing at the same time against them, it somehow made them raise their game. A bit shaky at the beginning, considered a goal, but the reply was instant. My only fear now is, can they repeat that performance?
Against France?
Against France, because there were fortunate moments for us and there were unfortunate moments for us. For example, 2 goals that Musa scored, they were due to his natural instinct, which is to go on the left side of the attack. Keshi was placed him on the right, but luckily for us, we broke quickly twice.
Are you saying that wasn't a deliberate plan of the Eagles?
Well, when we broke quickly, when we are playing normally, Musa is stationed on the right. But because of the counter-attack and the way it happened, during a counter-attack, you take the first available space. And Musa instinctively ran into the left channel, which is his place. Not very wide, but the inner channel, just that will bring you just to the edge of the box. It's his natural instinct. Credit should go to Emenike and Babatunde for the assists on those goals. Emenike holding it up fantastically and Babatunde dropping it well for the first one. But Musa was able to take them well because that's his game instinctively. Cut back and shoot. With the inside of his foot or with his instep. It's harder when he's on the right. Then he has to slice it with the outside of his foot or try and get his laces on it and pull it through across the goalkeeper. So it's easier for him to take his shots when it's coming from the left. Keshi might want to think of jiggling that formation.
But didn't we see a better level of team play? I mean, Emenike holding the ball up for him, shoving some other players off and then laying that pass.
Emenike holding up the ball has happened in every match. Unfortunately, there just has been that disconnect. In all fairness to Babatunde, I will give him a lot of stick. But yesterday, he kind of played that advanced role that I would like to have seen from Mikel. Mikel, once again, did not show up to the party. Once again, slowed down 1 or 2 chances where we could have broken and got something out. He still hasn't defined his role in the midfield. It's not enough to play 2-inch passes to the left and to the right of whoever is nearest to you, or to throw balls to your centre forward from your own half when he has no support and he has his back to go. But that aside, I think Nigeria need to work on their set pieces. Once again, we were caught out by a set piece. And it was just plain indiscipline, and I've always talked about this. First of all, Inyama screaming for the wall to move, and the wall doing what it felt like doing.
And we considered the most in this match than in 2 games.
Yeah, and Messi took a gamble. He's a quality player. The first free kick was too near. Inyama knows for him to curl it and get over the wall to that side, he can't put pace on it, but he can curl it and bring it to the left. So he moved a bit nearer, saved the first one. Unfortunately, the second one, Messi's a left footer. If
That's a perfect spot for him.
If Inyama had moved away from where Messi eventually put it and had gone to stand there, it would have been a rocket straight to the other side of the post. It was common sense. So he had to stay in the middle, closer to the right, and all the wall had to do was jump. For Messi to get that pace into that corner, he would have to play it not too high above the wall, meaning a jumping wall would have stopped that ball.
But how do you determine what a wall does? Is it in training or instinctively on the pitch?
It's in training. The purpose of the wall is to make it as difficult as possible for your opponent to get a shot.
But you've seen the wall jump and it just goes underneath.
Yeah, the likes of Ronaldinho and co, they one, they're special players, and 2, they do it from 1 or 2 yards outside the box. This was so far away that if they had tried to play it under the wall, it would be akin to playing a grounded shot from 30 odd yards, which would give the keeper no problems at all. But the wall didn't jump. The wall stood and became more of a hindrance than a help to the goalkeeper. We considered that one.
Speaking about Babatunde, is he permanently off now? Because that injury...
It looks like his adventure in Brazil could be over.
Wow.
From what we're hearing. We hope for the best, but I don't think...
It was a rocket of a shot.
It was a rocket of the shot. And it's what I always say about our training. I've noticed Onazi take 1 or 2 of these wild shots. And you would have thought that by now there should be some training regime where we would have made effective use of that shooting, that instinct to shoot. He would have been maybe doing routinely 20, 30 shots before and after training a day.
Our example is Sunday, Lise.
Yeah, to get a feel of it. I mean, this is what most teams and most countries would do. Then create different patterns and plays around it, so that you catch your position and where you create space for him to shoot with intricate passing around the box. We've not seen all that, so we know that at least to the best of my knowledge, I still think that our training is still not tactical. I think it's still just physical. It's not. I don't think we're still employing strategy yet. Now we have to face France. Is there a chance of beating France? Surprisingly, yes.
Why? How?
Not because Nigeria is so good, but because France have their own personal self-destruct button. And we saw it happen yesterday against Ecuador, who were a man down. And
not that they were unlucky.
No, and not any man down. Ecuador lost their captain and their most experienced player, Antonio Valencia of Manchester United, and he was their main attacking outlet. From the wings, they play counter-attacking football. And if Ecuador had used one or two of the times they had 3-on-2s and 3-on-3s against France, they could have picked that game easily. France had some chances. Ecuador's keeper made some saves. They got frustrated, didn't calm down, didn't play, started trying very hard to score, and that put them into more trouble.
Do we have that tactical discipline, the defense, the goalkeeping, to do what Ecuador did?
We don't have the tactical discipline, but neither do Ecuador really. But what we have is a better keeper than they do. I know it's shameful to rely on just your keeper as a final result, but hey, he earned the spot in the team. He might as well be part of the strategy. If you can restrict France to long-range shots, which would mean our defense stepping up properly, can they be disciplined? I've seen F.A. Ambrose lose concentration times without number, and you don't want the likes of Benzema or Giroud to get behind your backline because there's no stopping them.
So are the Eagles going to be encouraged, low-spirited, or what, especially after that equalizer? Because, I mean, first goal, we hit back. Second goal, we hit back before Rokodona came in and then just lost.
Well, I think they'll be ecstatic, one, because the final piece of news they got was that Bosnia had won and they had qualified for the first time since France 98. So I don't think that there can be any better feeling than that. So they'll go into the game happy. My fear is that they don't go in too happy, because the Shams has come out to say they are going to fight. France is going to fight. France is not. After last night, he was pretty pissed off about the game last night, and he has what it takes to beat Nigeria.
So that means it would have been better for us if they had won, or what? If they had beaten, won that last match.
Well, I don't know if I'll call it a blessing or a curse, because it actually exposed what the chink in their armor is, which is the fact that they have too many hotheads. We saw Sissoko lucky not to get. We saw Sissoko lucky not to get sent off. Matuidi and Pogba, mobile, fast, strong, skillful midfielders. They can make Mikel look very ordinary on that day. But at the same time, they are both young, they are both inexperienced, and they both make very poor choices when push comes to shove. So those are the few things. There's a lot of talent, there's a lot of pace in that French side. But there's also a lot of, I won't say inexperience, but at this level, you have a lot of debutants. You have the likes of Nasri were dropped. So you have people like Valbuena coming on. They have what it takes, but you don't know if they have it mentally. Up front, France was going bucket loads of goals in their first two matches, and I mentioned that they might have peaked too early in the tournament, and they might suffer a dip in form. And once that happens, you go one match, you don't score. You go 45 minutes against Nigeria, you don't score. Second half, you're very frustrated. If Nigeria can be disciplined, forget even anything. Put outlets like Musa and Usoh or Musa and Moses, get them out there and just stand behind the ball, try to frustrate them for 45 minutes, and you would see France unravel.